hire quickly, efficiently, and people who are going to stay.
Do they have the technical knowledge and skills for this role?
You're going to be burning money if you're hiring and they leave in 3 months.
You really have to sell your company on why they want to work with you.
Why do they want to work for you?
Because there's so many different companies they could apply to.
If you hire crappy people, they will burn your business to the ground. Hiring can make or break your business. One good hire can 10x your business. And we have an amazing built out hiring system. A lot of people actually ask us about it. And today we are going to lay it all out on the table. This took months and hours on end. And this is probably one of our best systems.
And we're still improving it.
We're always improving it. But we have a lot of people reaching out, asking us about our hiring process, where we hire, what the system is like, how to find good candidates online. That's a huge thing for people. So let's get into it. This is something I'm really excited about. And I would say we're pretty good at it.
Yeah, we're good and we're getting better. So we could talk about some of the platforms.
So I would say the reason we really had to learn how to hire was because we grew really, really fast. Like just this year or last year, we grew over 1,000%, which most businesses don't grow that fast. Mm-hmm. With growing so fast, we had fulfillment issues, right? Just like every business, we're growing so fast. We're taking on all these big clients. We had fulfillment issues, which pressured us to solve that and learn how to hire quickly, efficiently, and people who are going to stay, because you're going to be burning money if you're hiring and they leave in 3 months. If you have to rinse and repeat, or if you hire crappy people, they will burn your business to the ground. So this is a really important topic. Sometimes not so sexy, sometimes can be overlooked, but it's crucial.
Yeah. So when it comes to hiring, there's been a few key things we've changed recently. One of them is which platforms we hire and, the system for hiring. So some of the key things there are, we leverage LinkedIn a lot. LinkedIn, it became one of our favorite platforms with hiring. We tried Indeed and other ones, but LinkedIn has been our favorite. But the thing with LinkedIn is usually you can't just post a job. You also have to run some ads on your job. So we run, a few, I don't know how much a day, but we spend maybe $20 to $50 or something like that a day, depending on how fast we need them.
Yeah, depends if it's how urgent.
But adding some ads to your jobs is gonna help a lot. But also how you craft your job is also really important. Like the way you craft an ad is also, you should also think about it the same way you craft your job. Like for example, on our job posting, we'll add like spot filling up fast, so adding like urgency, like stuff like that. Even the way we craft who we're looking for, we add our core values. We add like really good description on who we're looking for and
minimum requirements, experience you have to have. So the description is pretty long, I would say. It's very detailed, and it's really important.
One thing I've learned is you really have to sell your company on why they want to work with you.
Why do they want to work for you?
Because there's so many different companies they could apply to. So just the way you have to sell in advertisement and in your ad copy, you have to sell in your job.
And you have to know the difference between an A player, a B, and a C. An A player is like, man, that one hire is going to make you so much more money. They're amazing at what they do. Great attitude. They fit the culture. They want to learn. B players, they just kind of do their job. They just get the job done. We don't like B players. C players are poisonous. Don't hire them. So we only hire A players. A players, you have to sell them, right? You have to sell them. Why should A players are not going to want to work at a company that don't have a good culture? And another thing is, we don't just hire on skill. We hire if they fit the core company and our culture and our values. So there's been times where we find someone and they're really good at what they do, but they don't fit the company values. They're lazy. They don't want to work, or they want to be salary, or they have all these things. And I'm like, that's not an A player. And just because they know the skills, I don't want them on the team, because they're poisonous. They're going to tell the other employees like, oh yeah, they're going to slack, and one bad apple will ruin everything. But to go back to it, our favorite is LinkedIn, and it depends what you're hiring for. We have a marketing agency, so a lot of what we hire is media buyers and account managers, and so we'll that's our favorite. We'll run ads, but we always post on other job sites as well. But I would say right now all of our people we've hired are from LinkedIn. They apply through a Typeform.
Yeah, so there's a LinkedIn job, and we use the easy apply option. So basically, you can think of easy apply like a lead form in Facebook, where basically they click easy apply, they apply, and they're in our inbox, where we then have our admin that reaches out to manually to apply to our Typeform.
And it's also in the description, like apply here with this link.
And then the Typeform is really where the magic happens, I think, because one, Typeform is really easy to use.
Don't do a Google form.
Don't use a Google form.
Oh my gosh,
just
so ugly. No one even wants to apply at a job. If you're doing that, that just tells me the type of company you guys are.
Just pay I don't know, I think it's like $50 a month for Typeform or less or something like that. But
it's experience. Like A players are gonna be like, oh wow, like this is a form. Like all of that starts from experience. I think what people think is like, oh, if you have a crappy application process, you're not attracting A players. Like people really have to start thinking of, you have to actually sell your company to A players. If you're like in a high horse and you're like, oh, people are gonna come and want to work for me. Like you better have built a really great brand, stuff like Microsoft, like Elon Wright, stuff like that. But you really got to be selling them.
Yeah. So in the Typeform, we ask a few multiple choice questions just to kind of do a little basic filtering on that for a lot of these positions. But one of the biggest important parts of the Typeform is a Loom video
at the end. So we obviously ask about their position. Let's just say we're hiring for a media buyer. What would be most important when running ads? Offer, copy, X, Y, and Z. So we kind of get, we ask some questions. Obviously, we look through their LinkedIn, but the magic happens in the Loom.
So in the Loom is probably one of the most important parts, and that's probably the thing I watch. Like the first thing I watch is their Loom. If they don't even send a Loom and they send some other link,
like a YouTube link,
a Google Drive link, they're automatically rejected because they didn't even follow basic instructions.
Yeah, and we make it known if they're a Loom, they screen share, they record themselves. We make it known if a Loom is not attached, you will automatically be disqualified.
So that's like the first sentence. So automatically, we even have our admin that goes and checks if it's not a Loom video, automatic rejection.
And this is at the end, okay? You don't want to. When you're doing an application, you don't want to, this is actually a little tip. You don't want to start off with name, and then you don't want to start off with just the Loom video. You want to start off with too much friction. Start off with the easy ones. Once they're already deep, they're going to be like, I just got to finish this. This is the last thing. Oh, video? I didn't know they're going to want a video. Okay, let me just finish it.
Yeah, because they already got to the end, and they're like 90% done. Then they have the Loom video, so they're like, I already did like 90% of it. Yeah. It's the last step. And then after the Loom video, then we ask for name, email, phone.
So in the Loom video, let's just say we're hiring for media buyer. We would ask them questions that explain how you would set this up. We gave them scenarios, things like that. So that helps a ton.
Yeah. And then one thing about the Loom video, this is probably one of the most important parts, is you want to make sure you have them answer specific questions that are actually going to be useful in that Loom video. So for example, you don't want to just ask like, oh, what type of work environment do you want to work in?
Don't ask what's your history with running ads. Like look at their LinkedIn.
Yeah, what's your work experience like? The LinkedIn has all of that. Like have them like answer things that are actually going to be helpful. And then part of it too is how do they present themselves and what's their communication like?
Communication is huge.
That's what we're getting out of the Loom.
So the first application screening, we have multiple steps, is actually a culture fit. Are they good at communication? Do they care the way they present themselves? How do they explain things to them, right? How do they explain things? But yeah, the questions you ask are really, really important. So for example, we run a lot of coaches and bigger businesses. We're not going to ask about local lead gen. So the question, and this pertains to any position you're trying to fill. If you're trying to fill a assistant, ask them questions that you would actually need. Have you managed a calendar with over 100 bookings in a week? Have you done X, Y, and Z? Tell me how you would go about the process. For example, appointment setter. This is a big one. Talk about some of the KPIs you were hitting every week. Give them a scenario. Hey, we're on the phone. Well, how would you start this conversation? Are you familiar with offers? whatever. Something that actually relates to you. You got me?
Yeah. And then with that, like, let's just say if you're going to hire a media buyer and your agency is just, you guys do e-com only, like an e-com only agency. Well, ask them, hey, rank which of these industries you'd be able to provide the best results for. So if it's like
E-com
lead gen, high ticket coaches, info product, B2B, and then it's e-com. So if they answer e-com last, then you already know that they're probably not good for your company.
You want people that have worked at something you do. So we always ask, have you worked at a marketing agency? It's very different being a media buyer at a company, like a regular company that they have one product versus at a marketing agency. Another thing is we ask, have they worked with high ticket coaches before, offers? Because A players, you don't need to train them on things like that. A players are batteries included. They've already been working with offers. They've already been in this industry. They've already worked at another marketing agency. And that's what we're looking for. Obviously, we're always doing training and we want people that are coachable, but you want people that understand the fundamentals and foundation of what that role is. And this applies to everything. Appointment setter. Have you been appointment setting for coaches? Have you appointment set for marketing agency before?
Yeah, and I think in the beginning, one issue we had was we used to hire for like potential versus experience.
Yeah, don't hire
but now
potential.
It's like, for this role, do they have the experience we need for them to do this?
It's kind of like relationships. Like, you don't marry potential. Like, you gotta, if you have a guy and he's terrible, but you're like, I know he can change. He can change. Like, dude, take it how it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So basically,
so I know it's a lot. I wish we could map this out. But
LinkedIn,
after they submit
so you have LinkedIn, you run some ads on LinkedIn, you make a really good job description, easy apply. You follow up, have them fill out the type form. Once that type form gets filled out, that goes to our Slack, which automatically we have a applicants Slack channel, which all of their Loom videos and all of the questions they answered goes to our Slack, and then it goes to a Notion database, which is basically our talent database, and in there it's like filtered out. It's by role.
Beautiful. I wish I can upload like screenshots. It's like a talent pipeline, and it's like by role, like Google, Meta, video editor, assistant, everything. And then it's easy for me because I look through these and it's like, okay, who just submitted an applicant that I need to see? Yeah. And it even has charts, like how many applicants have we gotten per day? Is there a dip? And if there is, we reach out to our admin. Hey, why is there a dip in applicants?
So like if we increase linked, it's kind of funny because it's like if we were to run ads for like a client, but it's like if we increase our spend on LinkedIn ads, job ads, but applicants don't go up, like what's the issue?
It's so crazy. We track like our cost per applicant. How much do we have to spend? How long will it take to fill a role?
Yeah, so we'll track like cost per applicant, cost per interview. So like just like we're running ads, we kind of treat it the same way. And then we also track like time to hire.
Dude, I bet people that actually run agencies that help you place people don't even go this extreme.
No, maybe.
Okay, so we're not even halfway, but go on. So the applicant comes in. It's on our Slack, so if I'm on the go, I can quickly like just look through that. But typically I look through it on Notion. It'll tell me that everything, all their information. It has the link to their LinkedIn, everything. And we are looking for top talent once again. So people on our agency, they have master's degree in marketing, in business. We're not just like, oh, you learn and you've been running this for a couple of years. Like, I want to see the numbers. And this goes back to hiring A players. And obviously, just because you have a degree, that doesn't mean you know what you're doing. But I mean, that's what we've been seeing. A lot of people, not just that though, but people that work at big companies. Like, we have someone that previously worked at Meta. I can really see a difference in the information he knows. But they also have to be coachable. They also want to learn. So I'll look through it. The first thing I'll do is I'll look through their Loom. And honestly, I can tell within the first couple 30 seconds if they're going to be a good culture fit. The first screening is mostly a culture fit. Are they going to work well with the team? On a good thing is like, would you want to be stuck at an airport with them? No. One of our goals is we always want a lean, strong team. If I don't want to be stuck at the airport, I don't want to talk to them, I don't want to work with them. So that's a good indication. I, of course, look at their application and their LinkedIn. From there, reject, or they get sent a tech assessment. So if they get rejected, I just click a button. They automatically get an email like, sorry, you've been rejected. if they pass that first initial screening, tell us what happens next.
So if you like this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to work with our agency, go to greatmarketing.ai or use the link below. So what they do is they get a tech assessment. So every single role has a tech assessment, whether it's Google Ads, Facebook Ads,
Assistant, video editor, everyone.
And this is more. So the first part is, are they a good culture fit? The second part is like, do they have the technical knowledge and skills for this role? So that one is probably my favorite one because you really get to see if they can problem solve with these. Because these are real scenarios.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you had this client and it was, this is the budget and these are the results we need to get. And then here's a screenshot of their current results. What do we need to do strategy-wise for?
So they get send a tech assessment automatically, which means they get emailed and they say, "Congrats, you passed like the first round of
That's
screening."
Probably one of the coolest things we did recently. Not recently, probably like a month ago, where we made it automated. So
everything gets automated.
If you put like approved for tech assessment, they automatically get the email.
And then they get sent the tech assessment. So let's just say
it makes it super efficient because like let's just say we approve someone for an interview, they get an email right away, and sometimes they book that day.
Yeah.
Which makes it really efficient.
And for example, media account manager. Let's just say it's an account manager. They get the tech assessment, and it's like, this is a scenario. Client A just got this results, and we give them a real scenario that our account manager would do, and we give them extreme. Like the test is supposed to be tough. They don't always have to answer everything correctly, but we still want to see their reasoning and processing. For example, we just hired 3 people last week. How are we able to hire so efficiently? Because of the systems. And we had an account manager, and we gave her a hard scenario, and she went above and beyond. Like the Loom she sent, it was like,
she actually applied for Facebook ads.
Yeah, but then she became she became account manager, and it was amazing. The presentation, she went above and beyond.
So she applied for a Facebook ads media buyer, but when
I met with her.
Yeah, when we met,
we saw her Loom.
When we met with her, we submitted her Loom. She was like, "Oh, you know what? She's actually a better
account manager,
just because it's just the way she presented."
And this girl is awesome. Like her tech assessment stood out. She had an entire presentation. So
it's supposed to be a 5-minute Loom, and she submitted like a 40-minute
presentation. And it was really spot on everything in account manager, and she has her master's degree, and we're hiring like top talent, and she's incredible. But for example, this goes for every position. Appointment setter, we give them a scenario. This is the offer. Pretend you're calling a client to set the appointment. How would you start the conversation? Walk us through the whole conversation. It's like a little mini role play. For our video editors, we give them a video that is edited how we like, and we give them the raw footage. And we say, like, make something similar but better, add your own spin on it. And we kind of compare the two. So we have a tech assessment for every single role. And then what happens after that?
So then if they pass the tech assessment, then they actually get the first interview, which is usually with Natalie.
Yeah. So once they submit it, we automatically get notified, like X completed the tech assessment, and it moves down the pipeline on Notion too.
Yeah. So then Natalie interviews, and then if they pass Natalie's interview, then they get an interview with me, and then
that's the final.
And then usually one of my favorite questions to ask,
always,
the way I kind of started off too, is like, just pretend we're in a coffee shop, like just make it very, chill, very relax.
Because you want to get to know the real them.
One question I like to ask a lot, and I don't think you asked this, but I'll ask, what's the most recent book you've read? And usually that kind of tells me, like, if they say like a personal development or like a marketing book. So if they say a marketing book, I was like, oh, they really like marketing. If they say a personal development book, they really like personal development. If they're like, I haven't read a book in like years, they're probably not into, learning and growing, or, but that kind of tells you their personality a little bit.
Or
sometimes
maybe they're like, I like
novels more. Or I like, this types of books. That kind of question makes you kind of learn a little bit more about them.
By the time they get to you, though, they've already gone through they've already done 2 applicants. They've met with me. They're pretty prepped. They're pretty
when
final.
They get to us, it really is us selling them on joining, because at that point we know we
want them,
so we have to sell them. So that's like part of the interview is just us selling the business.
And people don't realize that. People think that you're gonna attract the best talent, have a crappy application process. Imagine if a talent wanted to work with us and we just had like a Google Doc application form, and they submit it, and then like we like them, they do one interview and they get the job. Like when you worked at Microsoft as a software engineer, how many interviews did you do? It was like a lot, right? But when you got that job, you appreciated
So
it.
for my Microsoft job interview, I had to fly out to
Oh
Seattle
my God.
from like 8 a.m. to like 4
That's next
p.m.
level.
back to back, like hour-long
Yeah.
interviews. And so it was like 2 interviews. And then the lunch was like, you had a lunch with like another person
From the company or something?
that like
Like a scout.
that interviewed you or something like that,
Oh
and you
my.
had lunch, so you have to like do lunch with them, and then after that you have 2 more interviews,
Yeah.
and
See?
it's pretty intense.
Yeah, and people think now they can just hire top talent, and it doesn't matter what it is. Even our video editors, they fit the culture. They're part of the company. They're bought in. You have to sell them. And if it was an easy process with the application on Google Doc, you're not attracting top talent like that. Like by after they meet with me, instead of being like, I have a couple other jobs I can work with, they're like, I really want to work here. I talk about our core values. On that interview, I'm telling them about our story. I talk about what we do as a company, our company retreats that we're planning on doing, our fitness challenge we do as a company. I mean, and obviously, if you don't do anything like that as a company, you can't sell it. And you should be working on your company culture. But if you do have a great company culture, like that's what you want to sell. Because top talent wants to work at a company like that.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we do in our process?
And yeah, I think hiring is such a crucial part because a good hire can make or break your business. And honestly, like I appreciate our team so much. Like I love our team and they were all pre-vetted, but like every single one of them, I'm like, yeah, I would love to be stuck at an airport with you. We should go on a trip. Or we invite them to come visit, and we have all these things planned. And it's really important that you enjoy the people you work with. And I really feel like we're on that same mission and vision together. And I really, really love our team. And it all goes down to hiring, because one bad person is a bad apple.
Yeah, and even when we screen applicants, like we go through at least like 200 just to
Oh, we
find
didn't talk about that.
one applicant.
We go through, because of our process is so streamlined, like we're not watching a 5-minute Loom. We'll do a 2x within 30 seconds. I'll catch something. If they don't submit a Loom, automatically disqualified. But we go through maybe over 200 just to fill one role. So people are like, oh, there's no good talent. Like it's hard to find good people. It's like, well, you got 10 applicants and you interviewed 2 and you chose 1. It's like you have to hunt for them, and it's a whole skill in itself. So a lot of our clients, they need appointment setters, they need different things, and it's like you have to really find the top talent, because if we're bringing in these leads and your appointment setter sucks that you just randomly found over here, then they're gonna not help those convert.
Yeah, I think more recently you and me, I've learned how important hiring is. Like, and it's a common thing. Even MrBeast. So MrBeast has a document where it's his new hire onboarding doc. It got leaked essentially,
Ralph
but
leaked
it's pretty cool because he's very straight up in his new hire onboarding doc, who he wants at the company, what he's looking for. And in his one of a recent podcast he did with the Diary of CEO guy, he basically said one of the most important things he's realized is the importance of hiring good people, training them, but making sure that they stay for a long time. Because what usually happens is people get hired, you train them really well, and they know your business, your systems. They end up leaving like in a year or 2. Yeah. But instead, what you want to do is you want to make sure you already trained them, so they already know everything. You want to make sure they're happy, they're compensated well, and that there's like a good company culture where they want to stay a long time, because all of that's going to compound. If you already learned that much in 1 year, imagine the next year how much they're going to learn, and the next year.
It's costly to lose someone, especially your first hires, because they work so closely with you. They have so much knowledge and they've learned so much, and they know our systems. Like they know the way we work. It's costly to have someone go and then replace that and have to retrain them. And yeah, I think a lot of people, they overlook employees' happiness. Like you have to really consider them as well. They can be working.
I think we do a really good job.
Oh yeah, no, I would say.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope so. But they always tell us how great we're doing, and we're always trying to be better. We take feedback so well. I'm like, how can we better? How can we do this? There's always a lot of things we're doing, but I think you also have to make it, my favorite word is fun. Yeah. I like to have fun.
Yeah,
I want it to be a great place to work at.
We have a thing where on Fridays we like
Play games.
We'll do like some online game together or something.
Social event.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important, but I think a lot of people need to value their team more. I love our team, and I think other people need to really value their team more because it's more costly to lose them.
And like
and
we've
to
even
find
learned,
replacements.
so that's like hiring, but we've still even learned new things about leading. That's like a whole nother
leading.
topic.
That's a whole nother topic.
And
then
we've
onboarding.
seen some pretty bad leadership and
Yeah.
what it looks like to be a good leader, what it looks like to be a great leader.
Yeah,
what it
where's
looks
that
like to be a
line
bad
between
leader.
being firm but also being let people learn? Like even you, sometimes with our media buyers, instead of just telling them, hey, you say, what do you think? You give them an opportunity to learn, and then you'll either correct or learn from that.
Yeah, like, because if someone comes to me, and it's their job to be a media buyer, but if they come to me, they're like, hey, what do you think I should do here? Sometimes I'll just be like, oh, but what do you think is the best way? And depending on what they say, then I'll be like, oh, okay, I agree. Or you know what? Actually, how about this over here?
Yeah. And another thing is when you have these new hires, onboarding is really important. So the first thing they do is they go through a school onboarding. We talk about our company culture, our core values at our company, which is really important. And then we set them up with making sure their brand is aligned, making sure they have a professional photo. The background is that beige color that we all use, and setting the entire backend. But onboarding is really, really important as well.
That's another big thing. Like in the beginning, we had like hour-long onboarding calls, 2-hour-long onboarding calls. Now it's pretty automated where we have an entire module in school, which is new hire onboarding, where there's literally everything is on there. So like today we have some new people.
We have 3 people
They're going
onboarding.
through it, and they check off when it's done, so we know their progress in it. So all of that's also really important because that's also sets the tone for the company.
Just like when you have clients.
Just when you have a client, the onboarding is like what sets the tone.
Yeah, it's like if you hire an appointment setter and they're not doing great, well, it's like, did you onboard them correctly?
Did you give them training?
Did you give them training? Expectations, requirements. I mean, we can go into a lot of it, but it's like, did you teach them about your offer? Do they understand it? Like people really overlook onboarding as well.
And in our team right now, it's fully remote, which makes it, there's pros and cons to that, right? But one of the things we do is like everyone at the start of the day, we have a Slack channel where they post what they're going to accomplish that day. And at the end, they post their like daily recap. So all of that kind of helps with accountability, making sure we're on track.
And we have our meetings and things like that.
And we have a daily huddle. So every day we have a team meeting where we meet just for like quick 10-15 minutes and talk about what we're going to accomplish that day.
Yeah. But I feel like when you do find those 8 players, you take care of them. You keep them because they're diamonds for sure. I think more people need to value their people and that they have. I love our team. So if you guys are watching this, love you guys. Awesome. All right. So that was our entire hiring system, which honestly we can probably go into more detail, but that sums it up. And we actually have given this system to a couple people, my sister included. Now she loves her team. She hired someone from LinkedIn recently. She's like, she already had all this experience. I didn't even have to train her. I'm like, you got an A player. So yeah, hiring is really, really crucial. Sometimes not too sexy, sometimes overlooked. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on our social media platform. So we'll link that below. We post every single day. And we actually post a lot of the behind the scenes that is really, really interesting. So yeah, go check us out.